Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us in today's webinar series. My name is Philomena. I'm your host for today. So today's session is titled Optimizing NOC Processes and Procedures to Increase Efficiency. The NOC, which is the Network Operation Center, is the brain or the house of an IT infrastructure where you monitor, you check your network infrastructure if it's actually performing right. And so this webinar, we are going to provide valuable insights on best practices and tools to enhance your NOC processes. And in doing that, we have with us our NOC experts, Mr. Atole Ariabe. It's good to have you here.
Thank you very much, Fina, and welcome viewers to this webinar.
All right. So before we proceed, I would like to remind us that we can always use the chat box to drop our questions. We are also having a Q&A session where you can also unmute and ask your question. So thank you very much once again for joining us. And so I want to start by looking at the key challenges that most NOC teams face in today's IT operation. So I want to ask my first question, what are some of the most common inefficiencies you've observed being a NOC expert, you've observed in the NOC operations? What are those common efficiencies and how do they impact the overall performance of your network?
All right, thank you very much for that. From my own experience, in the years of being a NOC IT professional, there are certain factors that have made the NOC to be inefficient. Number one is inadequate monitoring. Now, if the NOC is not able to monitor, have visibility in the entire network, of course, there will be inefficiency and you'll have downtimes. The network system is like nothing is really happening. So that one is key.
Okay.
So a NOC that does not have adequate monitoring will definitely have inefficiency. Then another common factor is over-reliance on manual processes. This affects because you will not have errors, you have delays, and also it leads to inefficiency. Then automation. There are certain tasks and processes that needs to be automated. So if those ones are not automated, there will be inefficiency within the NOC. Then another common inefficiency is poor communication and collaboration. Okay. Because the NOC is made up of a team of experts, so they should be able to communicate effectively. If that is not there, it will result to inefficiency. Also, inadequate training. There are trainings that needs to be carried out from time to time. You also have to update the skill and the expertise of the NOC personnel. If that is not there, it's going to cause inefficiency. Then another common factor again is standardization within the process. The processes that are being carried out within the NOC, there are laid out standards that must be followed. If that is not there, such a NOC will experience inefficiency.
All right, thank you for that detailed insights. It is clear that these inefficiencies can actually hinder the ability for the NOC to operate smoothly. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so now shifting our focus to the solution side of things. Can you tell us, can you share like a high-level overview of the key components that makes the NOC processes efficient?
Okay, within the NOC space, the processes that are being carried out daily and from time to time, you have the proactive monitoring and automation. That is very key. So your ability to monitor the network, how it is performing, traffic, security, and other key areas, that one is key. Then the incident management, because within the network, an incident can occur.
Yes.
So how prepared are you to handle such, to quickly, act, your response, detection and response system is also key. Then your problem management, because for every incident that occurs, you have to carry out a thorough investigation, what they call the root cause analysis. That is also key within the problem management. Then you have the change management. In networks, in network environment and systems, there are bound to be changes that occur from time to time. So how are these changes implemented?
Like you said, changes
yes, so there are processes that has to be followed for that. Then we have the reporting and performance optimization. That is also very, very important. So it's a process that we look at in the NOC environment to ensure that the network is performing at its optimal level. Then, of course, we have documentation, collaboration, and communication, and effective one at that. Then we have the training, the NOC personnel, the NOC IT experts. They have to be engaged in training from time to time so that they can be able to skill up their skills and expertise.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So you can see from proactive monitoring to streamline workflows and reporting is needed in a NOC operation. And also you mentioned trained NOC experts. So your team must be well trained, because they said inefficiency or efficiency depends on both technology and people. Yeah. All right, thank you very much. So now, building on that foundation you just shared, could you just explain why optimizing NOC processes is so critical in today's digital world? Why is it so critical, or why is it so important?
All right. The present time and age we are now, the technological advancement is rapidly growing each day.
Yes.
So the ability to be able to manage networks that are engaged in this is key. So number one of the critical reasons is digital transformation. So the transformation, of our digital environments is rapidly growing each day. So it's only a NOC environment, a NOC facility that engages in optimized processes and procedures that can be able to manage, that can be able to give adequate support to modern day networks. Yeah. There another reason is customer expectation. Customers, they expect seamless and reliable digital technology that they engage in their daily activities and tasks. So your ability to ensure that you provide this, you need to ensure that your NOC processes and procedures, they are being optimized. Another key factor again is, like I earlier said, complexity and scale. Modern networks these days, they are complex and they can easily scale. So are you prepared enough to be able to handle it? Do you have those processes and procedures within the NOC optimized? So when that is there, you can be able to withstand that complexity and scale. Also, real-time data, and analytics. This keeps increasing. The volume of data that you are getting every time, they keep increasing based on the demand. So how are they analyzed? How are you able to manage it? It's only with an efficient NOC support system, which is optimizing your processes and procedures. That is where you can be able to give or render reliable support. Then also for security and compliance, by optimizing your NOC processes and procedures, you will be able to it will be able to provide security and compliance measures that you have to follow to be able to meet up to the regulatory requirements. Then again, business continuity. For you to be able to improve on your productivity, your efficiency, your network has to be reliable. The efficiency of your network has to be there. Okay. In the sense that you have maximum uptime and very reduced minimum time. This is very key. Also, for competitive advantage.
Yeah.
You have to be able to ensure that you deliver a better service and experience. This will make you stand out as a NOC.
Okay.
This is one critical reason. Then, of course, with all this, you can see that at the end of the day, you will not have cost savings. So these are the critical reasons why optimizing NOC is very, very important at this time.
All right, thank you very much. So the question is your organization ready to meet up with this digitally driven world? Are you ready to meet up the standard? So if you are ready, you need to optimize your NOC process, because optimizing your NOC process is no longer optional.
Of course.
It is essential.
It's very
so please take note of that. I hope you all are enjoying the session. So now let's take a closer look at what this optimization actually involves. So Mr. Tole, what are the NOC processes and procedures that are being optimized?
All right. The processes within the NOC, the key one is the monitoring.
Okay.
You have to ensure that there is real-time monitoring 24/7. So you have an efficient monitoring process.
Okay.
You can also customize certain sensitive and critical segments that you can just have an overview of, at a glance. That is what we call customizable dashboards. Then the reports, your report has to be automated, no doubt, so that as to bring about accuracy. To bring about a reliable and accurate report. So the report system has to be automated. Then we will now look at what the performance, because as you are monitoring, you are also looking at the performance. There are KPIs that you look out for. So that is under the monitoring and reporting. Then we have the incident management process, because like I earlier stated, you have to prepare yourself for an eventuality. The network may have a sudden eventuality. So how prepared are you? Your ability to be able to detect automated detection of incidents, and also your classification. You have critical, major, minor, and warning alarms. So, but what is priority is critical. So once you have a critical warning alarm, what do? You quickly start the escalation process. So you start by following the laid down escalation process that have been lined out. There are key personnel that you have to escalate it within certain frame of time. Escalation can be between 5 to 10 minutes or at most 15 minutes. This is very key, so that you can quickly resolve whatever issue that has occurred at that time. So also, we have what we call the problem management. So even if the incident or the issue has been resolved, within the problem management, we thoroughly investigate to find out what are the factors that led to that incident. That is what we call the root cause analysis. Okay. There is a documentation that is being carried out, and also there are proactive problem management measures that we have to perform so as to prevent future occurrence of such an event. Then also we look at the change management process. Like I also stated, within the network environment, there are changes that have to be done from time to time. As the network is scaling, and at times there is complexity. You have to do some form of maintenance work. We also generalize it as plan work, but there are procedures that need to be followed. Laid out procedure, your planning, testing, and implementation. That is very, very vital. Then we now have what they call collaboration and communication. Now, the NOC is actually made up of IT expert personnel, skilled IT expert personnel. They collaborate from time to time on these various processes and procedures that are being carried out within the NOC. So it is also very key that you have an efficient and reliable communication and collaboration system so that you can be able to manage whatever that may arise at any point in time. Also, notification of stakeholders. Stakeholders will be carried along on certain issues. Then on the concluding note concerning this, we have what we call continuous improvement, because we have to continually review these processes. Then you have to also regularly carry out backups. You have to back up your entire system, your information, your the data. They are key within the NOC environment. Then, of course, like I also said, training and development is key, so that it can be able, the NOC IT team, the NOC team, and personnel can be able to continually deliver efficient and productive services within the NOC space.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for giving us a very clear picture of how to optimize our NOC process. Thank you very much for that. So now, talking about the tools in making these, in optimizing your NOC process, can you please tell us some of these tools and technology used to enhance the NOC process based on your experts? So you can tell us some of the tools you've.
Okay, the tools within the NOC space, of which the NOC can't do much. The major tool is your monitoring, network monitoring system. That gives you visibility. When you are able to see that your network is okay, everything within your network system is performing optimally. That one is key. That gives you that observability on your entire network infrastructure. Then we have a ticketing system. Within the NOC, there are tickets that you have to create for on every task or issues that is being carried out. Then when there are incidences, you have to create tickets. Those tickets are very important, and they are being used to look at the daily activity and performance within the NOC space and the network in general. Then we have the automation tool. Now, this tool is very, very important because there are certain tasks that must be automated. Even your monitoring and your incident detection, the automation that is being applied makes it very, very effective. Then another of such tools that we have within the NOC space is the data analytics and visualization tool. The data that we get from the activities within the network space, they are being analyzed. You analyze them and you look at, what they are giving. This helps you to make informed decision and insights. Then also the visualization tool. With that, we are able to have visualization of the network data that you get, and this can also easily helps you to see, visualize trends and patterns on the network. Of course, this also helps you to follow up on the network performance, and also you can plan with that. So those are the tools that we have and we make use of.
All right, thank you very much for that. Okay, you made mention of the monitoring tool. So is there a specific solution that is used for monitoring?
Yes, of course. Presently, like I am still within the NOC space, where I am carrying out my networking expertise. We make use of what we call mirror solution. This is a very, very reliable solution. Is an automated network and service management solution that offers end-to-end observability to your entire network infrastructure. Wow. It automates a response to prevent hotspots and outright network service failure within your network environment. When you hear the word mirror, you might be wondering. this is also a unified vendor agnostic cross-technology and cross-silo automated network and service management solution tool. It provides services for telcos, ISPs, MSPs, fintechs, and other organizations that major on network. It provides expert remediation on any kind of issues, and it guarantees 100% uptime and reliability to your network entire system. So with this, you are good to go. It guarantees business continuity and also a reliable network service.
All right, thank you very much. Viewers, I hope you are enjoying the session. Like he said the Mirror solution will give you total visibility, from start to finish into your network system. You'll be able to monitor your entire network infrastructure. So I think every organization needs this Mirror solution. Thank you very much. So viewers, we are still expecting your question. If you have your question, please drop it at the comments section. So thank you very much for that. So now talking about this Mirror solution, if I deploy the Mirror solution in, let's say, Lagos, Nigeria, and then can it still be effective in other regions of Nigeria or let's say outside Nigeria?
Well, some of the features, if I should throw more light, it does what they call device auditing. It audits your entire device system. So it can be used both in Nigeria and outside. It actually gives support to any business organization, irrespective of where you are.
All right, thank you very much. So there's a question on the comments section from Milka. She is saying, how do you measure the success of NOC process improvement? Are there specific KPIs to track?
Okay, yes. Within the NOC space, with your daily activity that is being carried out, you are looking at your performance metrics. You are looking at your uptime, the availability of the uptime, because you are monitoring all these things. You are able to view, and then from your KPIs, like I just mentioned, there are thresholds, there are values that must not be exceeded or that should not be below. Those are the things you look out for. So with that, going on smoothly, that definitely you are on the right path. Because you will now see that your uptime is there. You are getting almost 100%. Then your performance level is high. Then another key thing you be able to track your success rate is your feedback.
Very important.
Customers' feedback. When your customers are satisfied, when they are having a wonderful experience, then you know that they are actually delivering.
All right, thank you very much, Mika. I hope your question is well answered. Thank you very much for that. There's also another question from the chat session. It's saying, for organization just starting to optimize their NOC, what would you recommend as the first step? That's for startup organization. They might be confused on what to do, where to start from. So what would you recommend as their first step based on you?
Thank you for that question. When you hear the word, let me just try to show you some light. When you hear the word NOC, Network Operations Center, your ability to have visibility, to be able to see your network is key. So what am I trying to say? Having an efficient monitoring system, network monitoring system, that is paramount. That should be number one, so that you can be able to comprehensively see the entire network system. Once you have that first, they will follow. So you can now have your incident management, program management, and others. So having an effective network monitoring tool or system is very, very, very key. And that is where, like I mentioned, the mirror solution is a standout. You know, it has the ability to give end-to-end observability to your entire network infrastructure.
All right, thank you very much for that, and thank you very much for answering that question. So you're also saying mirror monitoring tool is one of the first thing that they should consider.
Course, yes.
Okay, and which is the mirror solution.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So are there any more questions? Okay, I think there are no questions yet. So we've come to the end of today's webinar. I want to thank every one of us for taking time to join us in this month's webinar. Thank you very, very much for staying tuned with us. If you also have a question, more question, or you want to request a demo, you can send us a mail at info@zoracom.com. And also, we are on social media. We are on LinkedIn, we are on Facebook, and we are on Twitter. You can also follow us to get updates and updates or news about Zoracom and even about the mirror solution we just mentioned. So thank you once again. Do have a wonderful week ahead.
Thank you.